brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch. I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Então, lá no Kingdom Hearts, quando eu descobri que os jogos eram tudo em inglês, e nem legenda em português, eu desisti de pegar aquele jogo. Mano, o problema é que seu celular é uma bosta. A realidade é essa, se o celular é uma bosta, nunca tá bom o áudio. Aí, tá vendo? Meu áudio tá bom, então o celular que é uma bosta, cara. O teu celular não presta pra rodar jogo direito, o som dele não presta. Esse celular aí tem problema de junta, cara. Olha que arma bonita da porra, velho.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Já falei, cara, esse teu celular aí tem problema de junta, mano. Nem o meu Xiaomi, que até no meio dele, o celular até faz tão bom que ele até faz latrocínio pelo dono. Dá uns 2 dinheiro desse daí, cara. Nem o Xiaomi. Quer dizer, o principal motivo de eu ter aposentado o Xiaomi é que ele é tudo de 64 GB, né? Mas o celular nunca me deixou na mão. Quer dizer, tava começando a travar, mas nunca me deixou na mão a ponto de me rodar um jogo.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn...
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route.
Ah, eu procurei agora há pouco, esse jogo aqui tem 15 capítulos, eu tô no 7.
But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Muito, eu consigo zerar esse jogo ainda hoje. Mas isso vai demorar mais isso vai depender mais do duelo roubado, né?
jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall.
Look, just ran up.
I found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Deu certo, tava tentando pegar o bagulho lá da habilidade lá, pá. Oh, meu caralho de asa.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day. As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights, but I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway, so I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Esse problema de áudio baixo costuma dar depois que o celular cai na água. O celular de bosta, você não entende nada, não ouve nada, viu? Se por acaso alguma vez você deixou essa batata que você chama de celular cair na água,
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Yeah, you know you can't keep... Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for that.
você me ouviu, mano? Suspeito. Porque esses problemas costumam acontecer quando a gente deixa a batata cair na água, sabe? A potato in the water.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons?
Deixa eu ver se isso é
No,
verdade.
son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that?
Ó, uma vez na vida você estava certo. Então quando o personagem fala, minha voz
Kill
abaixa
that
mesmo.
cocksucker!
Caralho, eu acertei o cara de trás.
Now you're really pissing me off.
Spectator in the Waiter.
He's killing everybody. Ready to meet your maker. He'll kill us all. I'm gonna cut you in two.
Não dá pra subir aqui. Ah, e esse tem que ver os pontos. Não, 3.810 pontos. Meio de sacanagem, porque era pra ter bem mais. Porque eu tenho Resident Evil 5 platinado no Xbox, no Windows Game for Life. E o Games for Life virou a live. Então, era pra estar tudo junto e misturado nos pontinhos. Quando eu entro lá não tem 100% de assim.
Gonna scalp your ass.
Não, velho.
He just.
Buraco na parede. E olha lá, tira a print, o cara morreu abraçado com a porta. De forma mais indigna de morrer. Tá, nem lembro porque eu nem ligo pra característica da pirataria, eu quero mais foda.
My guess is those dime novels didn't
Eu
portray
já
this
mando
as
logo
it
a real, eu
happened,
quero mais
did
que
they?
se foda. Mas o que que tem? Já que é ironia, o que aconteceu? Só falta falar que a Azuka é a única loja que tem o jogo que ele quer jogar. É isso.
Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
Loja deveria ser proibido. Não deveria ter nada permitido aí. Foda que eu sou muito ruim pra focar em duas coisas ao mesmo tempo, cara. Focar na velocidade da arma e no foco da mira.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South
Bom,
America.
deu certo aqui, pelo menos. Na terceira tentativa deu. Não, mesmo eu já falei, cara. o
They ended up
console
living
não
down there
é
for many
proibido
years, but I'm
bloquear o
sure you
console.
already know all about that.
Não é